Can fold. Let's see what we got. So we got a little signal out here. Oh, we got a little signal. So. Today feeling like one of them days where, you should remind folks. Matter of fact, remind yourself most of all. You know what I'm saying? Who you are. You know what I'm saying? What role you play in this thing called life. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people forget, including yourself. You know what I'm saying? You forget who you really are in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things. To the point, it's like, you know what? Somebody got to remind you. Look, baby, you not to be played with. You not the one for play. You feel me? You not the one for people to act like you just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Or they must got you mistaken. You know? They must got you mistaken at this point if they think you just anybody. And quite frankly, it's time we must remind. You know what I'm saying? I know he probably like, dang, is it raining over there? Yes. Sometimes you gotta walk in the rain to add some kind of calm to your flame sometimes, you know. Sometimes for me, I have to go out and get in the rain sometimes to, cool myself off. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that follow, my G. Appreciate that love. But again, today's message is, remember who you are. Don't lose sight of the greatness that is you. You feel me? And don't let nobody else let you forget. Because oftentimes, we play it down for the sake of other folks. You know what I'm saying? We play it down just for the sake of not, making other folks feel uncomfortable. Not making other folks feel less than. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to remind yourself you are the blessing. You are the blessing. You truly are. Before you get too caught up in stressing on how things gonna work out, how things gonna play out, at least I remind you that you are the blessing. You are the blessing that you've been seeking this whole time. You are the beautiful being that you've been looking for to smile back at you, L. You feel me? You are that. And most of all, walk in that. Walk in that. I guess the wind wanted me to have the hair in my face right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. Now they want to play with my signal because it's raining. I'm going to take y'all to the house. Oh, happy birthday, beautiful. Let me take y'all back to the house. Let me take y'all back to the house so we can get a good signal going. Happy solar return. Appreciate you sharing it with me. We had a beautiful, what's up with it, Dr. Dex? Appreciate that heart, me. We had a beautiful, full moon last night. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be remiss if I don't bring it up or mention it, because it definitely has a lot to do with my energy right now. There was conversations that were had last night. There was a certain aura about myself, or je ne sais quoi, you know what I'm talking about, that preceded, today, that is going in to today and is exceeding all expectations. Man, right. And is exceeding all expectations, doctor. To the point, I'm just grateful for another day to be me. You know what I'm saying? And another day to remind somebody else that it's an amazing thing to be you. I'm grateful for all the people that I come in contact with that come into my view. You know, grateful for all the meetings that I have coming up. You know, for me, this marks a great moment in time where I've been reminding myself of my greatness, tapping back into things that I haven't done in a while, because somewhere down the line I put more focus on other people's greatness to the point I downplayed mine. You know what I mean? To the point I forgot about my gifts. I forgot about my talents. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with appreciating other people. You know, it's nothing wrong with even taking a break for a minute from your gifts and your talents, because a lot of times it leads to you being reinvigorated, you being re-energized to go about, you know what I mean, tackling them things a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. You know, I was out, give me a little grubbage, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little something to eat. And I overheard one of the guys appreciating some artwork. You feel me? And what's up with it, Desi? And I couldn't help but overhear, you know what I'm saying, that you're interested in something that I do. You feel me? Something that is a part of what makes me me. You know what I mean? My artistic ability and my way of seeing things, right? So, you know, I offered, appreciate them likes, lady. I offered, you know, my gift. What's up with it, Rio? Right. So if anybody else, you know, interested in some artwork, feel free to let me know. I should pull that mud up. Appreciate the heart, me. I should pull the picture up. But it's like, you know, shorty interested in anime type thing. And so I pulled up, you know, some pics of different anime characters that I know that she would particularly be interested in. And I'm not gonna front with y'all, you know, the beauty of tapping into yourself, a lot of times you amaze yourself at what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? And with that, you know what I mean, I did some artwork that amazed me, you know what I'm saying? To the point, like, you ever did something that you just had to step back from it, like, hold on, let me back the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Let me fall back for a minute, cause boy, you on the road. You doing some stuff that I didn't even know you could do that. And not to mention, it's been a minute since you did it, so I'm surprised, you know, that you know where to go and how to go about it. And, you know, I'm using that as an example for somebody who may need to be reminded that you have talents within yourself. Okay. Maybe you were coming through me. And shout out to that great artist, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, left the physical body, but is with us with endless potential at this point in life. That rain cooled it off, but then it's warming back up. But we're going to nonetheless proceed to give each other what we need, the remembrance of the greatness that is us. So, like, to be honest with you guys, it's important that you never lose sight of the things that once made you happy, the things that could potentially make you happy, you know what I'm saying? Because for some of us, we might not think that we got any artistic abilities or whatnot, but right, you feel me? It's like the sun wasn't out, but then when I came outside, here come the sun. You feel me? Along with, here come this beautiful hawk. Or is this a vulture? Something dead around here. That big boy. I don't know if y'all can see that thing. That big boy. Sheesh. Man, right? It do be feeling like the sun be shining down on me. It do be feeling like the sun be shining down on me. I be feeling like sometimes like I'm in the Truman Show. What's up with that ocean, baby? Be feeling like, darn, the sun went out, but now here it come when I come out. But nonetheless, man, I had some interesting conversations yesterday, right? And we always talk about how the moon, right? Whatever you was working towards, it only amplifies that. You feel me? And I've been working towards being more assertive, not in a negative light, but assertive in the sense of, making my intentions felt as well as speaking from my heart. You feel me? In a way that gets my point across. You know what I'm saying? Not to be contentious, but like I said, to simply get my point across. And yesterday was a day where, it just felt like everybody that could say something out the way to me, they tried it. You hear me? And I had to collect myself. One of the beautiful guys in my life, she definitely helped me to collect myself, because sometimes you just need to talk to somebody, like, you know what I mean? Get out your first assertion or your first feelings, you know what I'm saying, or expressions, and then from there proceed to, make corrections where necessary, become more precise. Okay, love. Become more precise with what you're trying to get across, and from there proceed to have a business meeting. And what I mean by have a business meeting, there's a lot of business that got to be taken care of when it comes to commanding respect from yourself. You feel me? Because when we don't say stuff to certain people, or when we don't speak up for ourselves, to ourselves first, you feel me? It leads to us not speaking up when it comes to everybody else. What's up with it, love? Yay in the building. You know what I'm saying? It comes to the beautiful Yay is in the building. It comes to a point to where we start letting shit slide. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the way I want to say it. But you first started letting shit slide within yourself. That's the first thing. For anybody wondering why it's a lot of heavy breathing, I just took that heel on like it went there. But, it gets to a point that you are letting stuff slide in yourself, like the intuitions that you may feel to do certain things in life. Like me and Desi, working on our books, you know what I'm saying? At a certain point in time, I'm pretty sure her, like me, you put off certain things. Like, you felt like, who gonna read it? Or what's so important about me writing this book? You know what I mean? Only to recognize that, the reason why I was instructed or compelled to write this book was because, there was lessons inside of me that I must share. You feel me? And the beautiful thing about books, right? It's like being able to have a conversation with a person and not necessarily be there. I love that about books. Like, I be reading these books and it give me an insight into the author's mind. You feel me? And now I get to meet an intellectual, you feel me, who I probably wouldn't get to meet in my time, you feel me, or in my exchanges of places, but technically I did meet them. I met their works, you feel me, and I met their calculated measures to exact certain information to the masses, right? Appreciate that follow, T, baby. And we for this majority of this year, we've been talking about the power. Ah, man, look, they playing with my signal, y'all. Hold on, I know what's going on. Here we go. I see what's going on. My phone was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi in the area. But we sought this year to tap into the confidence that comes by way of you recognizing the importance of your imagination. So we've been talking about that for the most part this year, which led to us putting together a book about the power of the imagination for those who might need to tap into that. Appreciate them likes. If y'all could, let's get the likes up so they know we out here. I know it's been a minute since we've been back up in the whip, but we, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that like to wear their seatbelts, they got their seatbelts on in the ride. We sliding right now. But I'm having this conversation with you guys to remind first myself of the greatness that is me. And in turn, you guys being my reflections, right? To remind all of us of our greatness and why we are attracted to certain lights. You feel me? Some lights we're attracted to because it reminds us of certain parts of ourselves that used to be. You know what I'm saying? Some lights we're attracted to is because it reminds us of where we're going to. And then other lights we're attracted to is because that's where we are. That's where our vibratory rate is at the moment. You feel me? And I'm reminded of my big mama. I'd be remiss if I don't say it how she said. You either going into a storm, in a storm, or coming out of one. But I recognize with the power of imagination, the way that you perceive a thing would be how you proceed in the thing. You feel me? So I'd rather proceed in a manner that's going to be becoming for who I am, who I'm going to be, and who I was. You feel me? I would have wasted my time if I went through things and didn't become better by way of the things that I've been through, right? I would be wasting my time if I don't recognize in the moment that I'm becoming better. You feel me? As well as I would be also wasting my time if I don't recognize that even better is to come. Even better is to come. You feel me? And a thought just hit me, you know, sometimes we have certain addictions, right? We have certain things that we indulge in that we want to let go of, and we look at it as such a detriment, but don't recognize the power in those certain addictions that's coming to us by way of those addictions. Like you say you want to stop doing something, right? And you go about changing it. It could be, you know, you a negative thinker. You know what I'm saying? You addicted to that by way of, now you got to go down the path to figure out what started these so-called negative thoughts that I'm addicted to, that keeps on keeping me in a cycle. See how as you keep going down the path of paying attention to it, you start recognizing, hold on, this begot that and this begot that. You know what I'm saying? This led to this and this came to this. So as you continue to do so, it allows for you to recognize the patterns in life. The patterns in life, you know. So first it started with me having to have a conversation about, what's up with it, Renee? How you feeling, love? Me having to have a conversation. If y'all could, if you would, let's tap on them screens. If you're not, you know, too busy with your hands, let's get them lights up, share the live, look alive, let's participate. I had to have a conversation with myself first, right? Which led to me having a conversation with two people that represented a certain level of authority. You feel me? A certain level of authority in my life. Appreciate you tapping the screen, L. To the point that upon having these conversations, right, with myself first and getting my business together, getting my points of references, my priorities of what matter, you know, that I want to address and to make sure going forward, we're going to do what's best, you feel me? What's up with it, Cherry? You feel me? It got to the point that I had to recognize that, you know what? Hey, I've been letting my mama speak to me like this since I was a child. And there's certain things that was said to me that did XYZ to my spirit and made me feel like I was less than. And so what I need to do is, for one, address that within myself, remind myself that I am more than what I'm being perceived as. You feel me? I am more than what I'm being perceived as well begin to walk in it as though I am more than what I'm being perceived as. Because it's one thing to constantly, oh Lord, it's one thing to be constantly trying to tell people that you're more, you feel me? But it's another thing to show it. I'm gonna say that again. It's one thing to constantly get people attention and keep telling them that you're more, but it's another thing to show it. You know, they say, I'm reminded of a great mind who told me just yesterday, they say knowledge is power. Well, truth be told, there is no power in the knowledge if there's no application of said knowledge. You feel me? So with the application of said knowledge, you can see the power in having such and such information. So I proceeded to, for one, acknowledge the information, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge that I have of myself, and from there, go about exercising the knowledge. I think I know this lady's mama. But, so with me doing so, I went on to apply the knowledge that I had of self, knowing that I'm more than what's being ascertained or being asserted about me, what's being said to me about self. And I went on to not just, you know, some people will go on and do some rah, not just do the rah, but get to a point that I also show that I'm more by the way that I carry myself. Appreciate that, Crown Love. Crown, no down. I went on to show that I'm more, because one of the ways that you show that you're more in a conversation is when you're asking people to show a certain level of respect for themselves, and in turn show respect for you and how they deal with you. Appreciate the likes, Desi. Show respect to you and how they deal with you. You must deal out a certain measure of respect yourself. I'm gonna say that again. You must deal out a certain measure of respect yourself. Sometimes you have to teach or be the example for respect that you feel like is necessary in a human exchange, right? So I went on to show that respect, as well as make sure I'm speaking up, because as a youngster, man, I used to oftentimes mumble, which is something else that I recognized in having a conversation with myself about how the things that were expressed to me were making me feel, you know what I'm saying? So upon having that conversation, I realized, hold on, like, you speaking so clear that it almost sounds like you're yelling. We got 5 beautiful people up in here. Appreciate y'all being attracted to the reflections of yourself. But I also was at that point able to measure my tone as well as my intentions, right? You have to be present enough to notice these things, because a lot of times we get so out of control, we just trying to get our point across, that we can't measure our tone nor our intentions enough to make sure that the measure that we're dealing out is going to get the point across. You feel me? Or going to lead in the direction that will grant you what you said you're trying to accomplish. You feel me? So with that being said, I went about checking that tone and recognizing, like, dang, you know what? Now that you appreciate your voice, you don't mumble as much as you used to. I'm talking about, I used to mumble, y'all. Like, I'd be talking and be like, you'll say something to me, like, you'll say, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm all right. You're like, hold on, what did you say? I'm all right. But now, when I've learned the appreciation for my own voice, you feel me? I speak up because I appreciate my voice first, you feel me? Before I'm trying to force anybody else to appreciate my voice, I first appreciate it. And since I do appreciate my voice, I recognize that it's important to accent my words in such a way to the point that now that I'm paying attention to what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, it comes across a lot easier for other people. And I also recognize that sometimes, you know, when people say certain things to me that I didn't wake up thinking about wanting to hear or do or change, you feel me? A lot of times it comes off in a way that, or I come off in a way when people telling me certain things in a way that seems like I'm not trying to hear what's being said to me. Appreciate you, L. Seems like I'm coming off in a way that I'm not trying to hear what people are saying to me, right? And quite frankly, you know, that's part of the process. Appreciate that heart, me love. That's part of the process of taking in information. That's part of the process. Like, we don't want people to be upset when we first say things to them, right? We don't want them to feel like or seem like they not hearing what we saying because, you know, the fact that they seem upset or not all that pleased with what you're saying, it almost comes off as though they aren't paying attention. But again, put yourself in them shoes. If you had no plans of changing said things, you feel me, upon the receiving of the information, it's gonna be like, man, why I gotta listen to this shit? Like, what is you talking about and why are you talking to me about it? You feel me? But one thing I noticed about being upset or getting somebody's attention, it gets to a point that you know you got their attention once they upset. You know you got their attention. Because you're not finna be upset if you're not paying attention. You feel me? Appreciate that love, L. You're not finna be upset if you're not paying attention. Now, what that person decides to do with the information afterwards, you know, it's not for you or anybody to, you know, judge them off of that. Don't get me wrong, people do. But it's in our best interest to reserve judgment for ourselves. Meaning, if I'm about to cross this street, you feel me, I need to make the best judgment on if I got enough time to cross the street walking or if I need to run. You feel me? That's when my judgment is better suited on my actions, because I only know all the details, right, about I wouldn't even say all the details, because this is another part, you know what I mean? But we'll get to that. I know the majority of the details and what I'm capable of doing. You feel me? And I say majority because I know as much as I could possibly know at the moment, right? But given that I don't know all the details about what I'm capable of, how could I ever pass judgment about somebody else, you feel me, about what they capable of, when I don't even know the majority of the details of what they capable of, because I don't spend that much time with them. Nor am I them. I could spend all day with these folks, but you don't know what's going on in somebody's mind. You don't know what the inner workings, you know what I'm saying, is doing within a person. So in turn, you don't necessarily know what somebody's capable of or not. You feel me? And given that you don't know all your capabilities at the present moment, you feel me? It's just better served that you do not go out your way to pass judgments that would negatively affect you in the long run. Like, sitting over here thinking everybody, you the only one get it and nobody else gets it. Ain't that kind of hopeless? Like, what would be the point of talking to anybody if you're the only one that can comprehend? sometimes it's in our best interest to plant the seed, you feel me, and give it time to grow. And the way that we plant the seed is we say what we have to say, respectfully, because, you know, you said disrespect, you know what I mean? You go about disrespecting somebody, it's like planting the seed in stony ground. And it's all about the way that you planted it. It's all about the energy that you gave to it. You feel me? The energy that you gave. It made me think about the term thug life and what Tupac meant by that when he said the hate you gave little infants fucks everybody. The energy that you give to the most impressionable amongst us. And believe it or not, each one of us got a child in us, meaning there's certain things that we don't know. You feel me? There's certain things that we aren't aware of. So that childlike self in us, that's impressionable. You feel me? If somebody just come and snuff that out and say you'll never get it, you don't never understand, which we all tend to do because of certain ways that we have been taught language, certain ways that we have been taught to speak, not realizing that we're speaking spells upon ourselves, taught to speak, not realizing that we're speaking spells upon ourselves as well as others, not realizing that we're speaking spells upon make sure the majority of your efforts, make sure the majority of your gestures are to the best of your abilities, right? In the right manner. There's still going to be certain things that people will do to your abilities, right? In the right manner. There's still going to be certain things that people will do to family, my bad family. Got a session that I'm about to do with a good brother of mine. About to proceed to help him unlock some things. And so yeah, I'm about to prepare for that. So I'm about to head. What's up with the King Shine? I'm about to head back the direction I just came from. He said he went to the gym, so he gotta go to the crib, take a shower, etc., etc. But he gonna come scoop me first. But keep in mind, even when you do your self-check to make sure everything is coming out properly, you still gonna have folks that intentionally write themselves out of the conversation. I'm grateful, King, by saying, I don't like how you said that, A lot of times people saying, after you done checked yourself and make sure you're not being disrespectful, you being considerate in your conversation, a lot of times people are saying that because what you're saying is making so much sense, love, to the point it's coming across in a way that they can't even deny it. Well, damn, they can't even deny it, right? And so in order to give themselves excuses to try to deny it, you feel me, they have to create scenarios in which would give them an excuse to deny it. Because honestly speaking, I would hope, let's say this, I would hope that I don't care how you say it, but if it's something that you're saying to me is for my upliftment, I get the information regardless. You feel me? I get the information regardless. So I'm not going to write myself out of being better because I can't deal with how somebody, you know what I'm saying, is delivering my information. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's going to come with a certain level of urgency. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start writing it off to, you know, they coming with a certain level of urgency. So the fact that they coming with this certain level of urgency, you know, it's just like, say for instance, if I was almost about to get hit by that truck that just went by, right? And you notice it, and you say, man, get the fuck out the way. I'm gonna be like, man, whew, Thank you for telling me. Or am I gonna sit there and argue with you? Man, who the fuck you talking to? I'm finna get hit by this truck. Cause I'm worrying about how you said it. Okay, love. I appreciate you tapping in. We're gonna be wrapping it up here in a minute. And I'm gonna come back on later anyway. So I appreciate you. Appreciate you tapping in, love. I would hope that I'm not so caught up in my immature feelings of wanting to be placated. You feel me? That I miss the point and wind up allowing for myself to be harmed by way of me not being willing to hear what was meant for me to hear to save my life or to save me from doing things that is detrimental to me at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, certain people come tell us stuff and you be like, man, I don't even know you. Why is you even saying this? No. Hear it out. Do your check, system check. Is this something that's applicable to where I'm headed to, where I'm at, where I've been in life? You feel me? Is it? Is it past, present, future? Even if it's past, it's cool to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to hear it. If you know you done changed, appreciate you, love. If you know you done changed, accept the fact that you know you have changed. And some people, they can't do away with the old programming. And it's all the more reason that you must stay consistent, because at one point in time, you was consistently appearing in such a manner that that's all they know you for. You feel me? That's all they know you for. So, remember who you are in the scheme of things. You are sent to be the best expression of yourself as you know it. And the only way you will get to know the best expressions of yourself is to pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. You feel me? The ecosystem. Pay attention to the people that surround you. What's up with it? Omnidor. Pay attention to how you feeling in the moments. Because sometimes we're not willing to listen because our vision is skewed. You feel me? Our vision is skewed because we ain't feeling all that great. So we not in a place to where we want to hear things that people got to say. And that's why it's important, right, to take care of yourself as well. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, a lot of times we got an upset stomach that upsets us. Let me say that again. A lot of times we got an upset stomach that upsets us. Or we're in a dirty environment that's not allowing for us to come clean with ourselves. You know what I mean? Information clean you up. You know what I'm saying? When you know your breath stink, you proceed to make sure to clean that up. You feel me? And for a lot of us, in the integrity of life, or in the integrity of who we seeking to be, because we weren't put here to be trying to remain stagnant. You feel me? Which is impossible, because you either going up or you going down. You feel me? And a lot of times these things is happening to you unbeknownst to you. Like, you're not aware of it, so to speak, right? I appreciate you stopping in, love. I appreciate you. Appreciate your energy, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you being you. We about to wrap it up here in a minute, because like I said, I got a session to do. A spiritual session with somebody. To open up some connections on both sides of the brain. And oftentimes, in order to do so, we got to disconnect. That's what's crazy. In order sometimes to create a better connection, you have to disconnect. In order to have something, you have to be willing to lose it. You keep being you, and thanks for being you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever notice when you was willing to lose a certain friendship, you know, in order to maintain your peace. And then people recognize that, what's up with it, Carla? And people recognize that they, you know what I'm saying? They whip themselves into shape. They remember everything you have been trying to tell them. Just like, you know, I had friends that when I was, you know, younger, as well as I'm pretty sure they would do it today, that if they see that I keep on doing things to my detriment, right, they'll put distance between me and them in such a way that will allow for me to sit back and think like, hold on, why such and such don't mess with me no more? You feel me? Also, I need for y'all to, man, go outside today. Find one tree that you don't know nothing about and figure out what that tree does. What's up, Shell? Figure out what that tree does. Because you never know when the time is going to come when you take your butt to the store and it ain't no food. Or you never know when the time is going to come when your body say no more of these genetically modified objects going in me. You know what I'm saying? To the point, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm getting to the point, I'm tired of it. You feel me? I'm still addicted to the old program, which again, like we said earlier, certain addictions can be a gift depending on how you look at it. You know, you having a certain addiction, knowing that the body loves to diversify, will lead to you opening up your mind to do things different. So the fact that you was addicted to that sweet potato pie and you wanted to eat sweet potato pie all the time, you for one got enough of that sweet potato pie, found different ways to make the sweet potato pie, to the point that same diversity that you tried to practice with still eating that sweet potato pie, eating it different ways, led to you finding different ways to find other things to led to you finding other ways to find other things to diversify your palate with. I had to repeat that because I don't know what part I left off on. But I'm to the senses of, I done had this addiction to food like most of us, right? And being able to have my way with it, right? Have all the types of foods that I want, now has led to me understanding or noticing the different foods that have been around me all this time. You know, at one point in time, we had food in our yard. You know what I'm saying? Meaning we allow for things to grow and we acknowledge what nature had provided for us. But somewhere down the line, a status symbol of having a lawn became, you know, adopted by everybody who was focused on status. So we began to cut our yards. What's up with it, Miss Houston? Houston, we have a problem. Became adopted by everybody who sought to have status, right? To the point we all wanted to keep a nice cut lawn and, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that was represented in our, you know, in our territories or on our land. But you would be surprised what grows in your front yard. Stuff simple like clover. These things can be added to salads. Things such as ginger naturally grows, depending on which, you know, territory that you're in. I know in the southeast it does. Turmeric, which is great for your skin. Ginger, good for energy, as well as, well, energy is everything, you feel me? So we don't really got to break that down. Right. We on time then, Carla. We aligned. If you seen that last night and that we talking about it, I'm finna go in this store real quick. I'm gonna try to make it quick because I don't want the music to pick up. What? The music ain't playing today. I ain't got to worry about snapping that out of my video because it ain't no music playing. Should I get orange juice? I think I should probably get orange juice. But I love that grapefruit though. That grapefruit, it get me where I need to be. I'm gonna get the grapefruit to start. But this is something that I'm also working on. I don't know if y'all remember a while back I said, man, I'm looking forward to getting with the gods, you feel me? and we proceeding to indulge in taking care of each other in such a way that I'm able to share my works with the guys, you feel me? And we write books together. You know, Desi, one of the first ones that I already get inspired to do what was already put on her heart. And I know there's more to come. Oh Lord. I know there's more to come, but I know ultimately we're going to get to a point that we start putting together texts that are like self-help books, as well as sci-fi, or books that, you know, storytell in a way that people are learning things and don't even realize they learning stuff, Cherry Bone. You feel me? And I know each one of y'all have had experiences on y'all growth path, right? To where y'all are now, that led to who y'all are, to the point like you can go back and pinpoint certain things and be able to say, man, you know what? It's because of this that I can recognize that I'm awoke in a certain way. Appreciate you. And I feel like that would help unlock certain people that are trying to remember certain things, appreciate it, that are trying to remember certain things about themselves, but can't consciously pinpoint. All right, have a good one, bro. Can't consciously pinpoint how to get there. So, you know, we kind of want to give everybody the opportunity. If you from the Ville, like I'm from the Ville, you know I'm at the Blue Stove. But I say that because there's gonna be some people that see this video that's not in here right now. But yeah, man, and it's coming together. Like it's coming together in so many ways, man. And today, like I said, I'm invigorated because there are certain things that I was beginning to lose. I wouldn't even say lose sight. I was willing to let go of, right? And my inspiration, right, to see it through came right at the, boy, when I say at the, right when I finally let go of how it was gonna happen, when it was gonna happen, it came. Knock, knock. Here I go. And I'm like, gee, here I go. You hear me? Here I go. And I'm grateful to be able to tell you guys, man, the same thing is happening for you. So when I say be reminded of who you are, be reminded, since you are XYZ, be reminded of what's happening for you and me. All things are secretly working in our favor, as well as openly working in our favor. You feel me? All things are working in our favor. Period. Point blank, period. We got this, champ. We got this, champ. Ain't nothing we can't accomplish. Ain't nothing we ain't already accomplished. Like, it's already happening. It's already, man. That's why I say we are greatness in motion. Appreciate you, Mirror, Mirror. You feel me? We got this. And since, you know, this was something that you was asking for, you know, just be calm as it's happening. Remind yourself, this is what I asked for. When things seem like they shaking up all around you, just say, this is what I asked for. And it will allow for you to be calm in the moments and allow for it to happen. You know what I mean? I'm reminded of times when we were asked for certain people to be healed. You know what I mean? And at certain points, you know, so much negativity had riddled the body to the point the healing had to be revealed in a way that released the person from the body. Of course, we wasn't asking for them to be gone from the body. We was asking for them to be healed and still be in the body. But when I look back, as my big mom was saying, I think things over, I recognize that the healing took place nonetheless. Nonetheless, literally break that word down. Nonetheless, it wasn't a lesser healing. It was a greater healing. You feel me? A greater arrival that took place as well. And they had to open the box to get through. How you doing, Queen? You all right? I love your hair. It was a greater arrival. I can't tell. It looked like she was stuck in time, so I just had to double check. You all right? Because I got time. You know, sometimes we just got to remind our people that we will take the time for them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody took the time for us. Somebody took the time for us. But with that being said, family, we're going to wrap this up till later. Hopefully you guys are available around, say, about 5. We might get on earlier, you know what I'm saying? But if we do get on earlier, for everybody that's in here, I will make sure to share the live to you. Let me go and screenshot who all in here so I can share the live to you. What's up, Pup Pup? With that being said, family, I love you as my... What's up, Pup Pup? With that being said, family, I love you as myself. I love you as myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it, as we are one. And I'm so glad we in connection. Kinfolk, let me see what they talking about. Now we see what they talking about, cause we just pulled up a chair, came over here to the round table where we just broke it all down. Say what? We just broke bread right now. Peace within. So you know that it's peace that we giving out. And I know you about to have a lovely day. Cause look how we started it out. Hey Joe, real quickly, cause I seen you just came in. Be reminded today, man, of the greatness that is you. That was the message for the day. And be on the lookout for the repost on YouTube. Love y'all, family. Peace.